There was a time when the heart of every American home wasn't the kitchen or even the backyard. It was the living room. The place where families gathered after dinner, where kids sprawled on the rug, and where the warm glow of a single lamp seemed to hold the whole world together. Step back with me into the 1950s, a world of tube TVs, crocheted doilies, and floral couches. Today, we're looking at 10 things you'd only see in a 1950s living room. Snapshots in time that may be gone, but are never forgotten. Every living room had one. A heavy wooden console TV with rounded edges and rabbit ear antennas. Families would gather around like it was a glowing fireplace, waiting for shows like I Love Lucy or the evening news. There were no remotes, so kids became the channel changers. The black and white picture, faint static, and warm hum were part of the charm. Today's flat screens can't replace the ritual of gathering close around that single box of life. The TV tray was a simple invention. Foldable metal legs with a shiny printed top, often decorated with flowers or birds. On weeknights, families carried them out, set their plates on top, and enjoyed dinner while watching television. It felt modern and a little rebellious compared to the formal dining table. For many, it was the beginning of America's love affair with casual living. Today, they have nearly vanished, but they shaped how families connected to entertainment. From armrests to TV tops, crocheted lace was everywhere. Moms and grandmas spent hours stitching these delicate patterns, placing them carefully on furniture to keep it clean and to show a touch of homemade beauty. They were more than decoration. They were symbols of care and pride in the home. Now they mostly live in memory boxes and estate sales, reminders of a slower, more personal time. You couldn't talk about a 1950s living room without mentioning the infamous plastic slipcovers. Couches and chairs were wrapped up tight, squeaking and sticking to your skin on hot days. To parents, they were practical, protecting expensive furniture from spills and stains. To kids, they were uncomfortable and a little funny. Love them or hate them, they were a trademark of mid-century households. Back then, smoking wasn't just common, it was expected. Every living room had a glass, ceramic, or even fancy stand-up ashtray. Guests lit up without a second thought, and kids played with the colorful matches and lighters nearby. It was part of the social ritual, even during family gatherings. Of course, times have changed, and ashtrays are now a relic of a very different era. Before TVs took over completely, big wooden console radios and record players were the centerpiece of many living rooms. Families tuned in to comedy shows, music hours, and news broadcasts. Later, LPs filled the air with jazz, swing, and the first waves of rock and roll. The warm crackle of the needle and the glow of the radio dial carried a magic you don't forget. Today's streaming can't capture the ritual of dropping the needle on a favorite record. Many 1950s walls had shadow boxes, wooden shelves shaped with angles filled with small glass animals, travel souvenirs, or family photos. They were little museums of everyday life, showing what families valued and collected. Dusty? Maybe, but they told stories in every corner. Looking at one was like flipping through a scrapbook without turning a single page. The 1950s living room was alive with patterns. Sofas came in florals, rugs in bold geometric designs, and curtains in atomic starbursts. These bright, busy prints reflected the optimism of the post-war boom. Everything felt cheerful and modern, a break from the plain styles of the Depression and wartime years. It gave every living room a sense of personality, even if it clashed a little. If you picture a 1950s lamp, chances are you see one with a big fiberglass shade, often speckled or wrapped in gold thread. Their soft, warm light made the living room feel cozy after sunset. Some were double-tiered, giving them a futuristic look for the time. They're hard to find today, but they defined the glow of mid-century evenings. Every living room had one corner or wall dedicated to family photos. Studio portraits, wedding pictures, and baby shots, all in mismatched frames. It was a silent reminder of who you were and where you came from. Guests would pause to look, and kids grew up memorizing faces of grandparents and cousins. In the 1950s, those walls were as important as any piece of furniture. The 1950s living room wasn't just a space filled with furniture and gadgets. It was where life happened, where laughter rang out, where milestones were celebrated, and where families simply sat together. The 1950s living room wasn't just a space filled with furniture and gadgets. It was where life happened, where laughter rang out, where milestones were celebrated, and where families simply sat together. Some of these things may be gone, but the feeling remains. The hum of the TV, the rustle of a crocheted doily, the soft glow of a lamp, all pieces of a time when life moved just a little slower. Which of these do you remember? Or which would you want in your own home today? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you loved this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time here on American Rewind.